You're listening to the Baumbastic Podcast with Andrew Ellis on Inside Arkansas.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Baumbastic Podcast, presented by Inside Arkansas and hosted by Andrew Ellis, the #1 podcast on the planet for everything, but specifically for Arkansas Razorback baseball, where we are a happy bunch. We're here live at Johnny's Tavern in Lawrence. Just watched Arkansas wrap up a 9-5 win in Game 1 of the NCAA Tournament over the Missouri State Bears. It was uncomfortable at the start, maybe a little bit uncomfortable at the end, but ultimately Arkansas gets the job done. They advance to Game 2. They will head to a matchup with Kansas tomorrow night in the winner's bracket. Boys, how are we feeling? It was a whirlwind to get here, both on the field and off the field. We're kind of tucked in a corner here, a little bit stressful. We got a little tiny table, but we make it work no matter what. How did you enjoy watching some Arkansas baseball, and how would you grade the performance?
Bring me the Jayhawks, Andrew. Bring them to me. I'm fired up, man. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. It was a little bit dicey early on. It took an inning or two or three or four to settle in, and then eventually they did what we kind of expected them to do, which was impose their will some. It got a little bit dicey again. At one point, the better team won this baseball game, and what you got to remember, because I felt it. We kind of felt it in the stands there for the first several minutes, the first few innings. It takes a little bit to settle in to games like this. And Arkansas did. Missouri State had the momentum. It's a game of runs, literally, in baseball, is what you told me, Andrew. Arkansas settled down. Gak did what he needed to do to kind of get him through it. He weathered the storm. It could have been worse. It wasn't his best. The bats started rolling. We knew that was going to happen. If they got that arm out of there, they were going to be okay, and they did. You won the baseball game. You're 1-0. Tomorrow's a new one. Bring us the Jayhawks. We'll turn Hoagland into Hogland. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, you were, of course, nervous for about the first 5 innings or so, and you didn't get exactly what you expected from Gabe Gackle. It honestly felt a little bit, just because it was a little bit of a pro-Arkansas crowd, there was a good amount of Missouri State fans there.
They had their little section over by the dugout.
Yeah, they had their section. But honestly, it felt a little bit like those home regionals that you had where you could feel the crowd getting a little bit tense because it was 1 inning, 2 inning, and then they had those 2 early runs, and you were kind of feeling the pressure from the start. You're like, all right, we can get it rolling here. Just give us a few more innings. And then it just took them a little bit too long, and then they finally figured it out.
Yeah.
They found a way to win. You can't start 2-0 until you start 1-0. So you're where you want to be, and you get the Jayhawks tomorrow.
Yeah, I would have preferred not to use Ethan McElvain.
That's a fact.
You just deal with the cards that you're played. And ultimately, when Arkansas decided to start Gabe Gackle in this game, that meant they were prepared to use their bullpen arms, which, of course, they did in this game. The pitching staff pieces it together. I want to focus on the offense just for a second, and we'll pull up the box score here, at least the offensive stats on the screen here. See Damian Ruiz there with 2 hits, one of which being of the infield variety. Ryder Helfrich had a double and a single. Micah New goes 4 for 4 with 4 runs driven in. Man. That's what we like to see. Overall, Arkansas puts together 12 hits in this game. They punch out 10 times, but they walk 9 times. Honestly looked a little bit similar to some of the matchups we've seen with Missouri State. You had that left-handed pitcher really hold them, down for a good portion there. Arkansas really got after the bullpen. What did you guys make of Arkansas's offense in this particular game?
Well, so they struck out 10 times, but I think that lefty had 6 through 3. And so they really settled in after that. Yeah, it was just that dude, honestly.
Yeah.
And it seems like you said that he walked several guys last time Arkansas faced them, I guess, and maybe it was a situation where they were really just trying to get that pitch count up, see if this dude's going to throw you some strikes. They were having a hell of a time with that breaking ball, man. And, the dude was putting it in there. It looked pretty good. But you just kind of felt like eventually either they were going to solve him or they were going to get him out of there. And as soon as they got a new noodle in, everything turned around. And they batted around and some in that big inning, put up a huge crooked number. And I don't know. Even when they were down 3-0, now I know we'll talk about some plays there, but you saved a couple runs there at the end of 1 inning. But you just kind of felt like eventually they were going to get to these guys. 3 wasn't going to be enough to beat Arkansas, and it wasn't. They got the bats rattling. I'm pretty happy with it. You said it at one point, Andrew, that especially after that huge inning, it was like everybody in the lineup, for the most part, somebody did something cool. Somebody had a quality at bat in there. Every single person was able to contribute a little bit, and it was good to see. And by the way, I called the final score.
You did call
I
the
just
final
want to throw
score.
it out there. I told you guys it would be 9-5. That's not how I saw it going down, but we got the score right, okay?
Yeah, no, I mean, early on, you were a little bit worried about the offense. I think they struck out like 4 of the first 6 batters, and you're going,
man.
Oh, boy, like, here we go. And then on top of that, you had the Gabe Gackle stretch where, man, I think he threw 35 pitches or so, 32, something like that in that first inning. So that already set you behind the 8 ball. Then You finally figured it out. And then by the end of the game, once you got to the bullpen, you kind of solved it a little bit. You proved that, hey, we can hit these guys. And then you figured it out from there, and you closed out with McIlvain. That's how it went.
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of the pitching side, go over to Gabe Gackel's final line. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which came in that first inning. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. It looked, honestly, like a lot of Gabe Gackel outings that we've seen this year where he's great at times. The stuff's pretty good. Wasn't his best stuff tonight. He ends up with a nice amount of 7 punch-outs in 4 innings, but kind of had to battle a little bit. Really, there were only 2 innings where Missouri State was able to get anything going, but they did some damage in both those innings. Arkansas ends up piecing it together. 5 innings out of the bullpen between Steele Eves, Parker Coyle, who did not have a great game in this outing, and Ethan McIlvain, who you didn't necessarily want to turn to. He does only throw 22 pitches, so you like that.
Yeah.
But overall, if I told you this was what Arkansas needed to do, you just kind of have to accept that. It takes what it takes. In this game, it took 4 arms. What did you make of Arkansas's work on the mound against a really scrappy Missouri State lineup, I might say?
Yeah, I mean, we know those dudes can swing it. They've swung it on Arkansas this season. And, it was not Gackel's best. And when you give up the leadoff bomb, it's like, all right, dude. And then you thought he was settling down. He got a couple outs. And then back-to-back hits there. And all of a sudden, he gives up another run. I'm thinking, I don't know, man. The pitch count was running up. And that's something that we had our eyes on. I thought that he was really settling back into the game. And then obviously you had to play out there in right field where you're not able to pick that ball up and it winds up costing you a run. But yeah, I would have loved to see, Gackel go 6 innings or something. And I would like to see him not give up any runs at all. That could have been a situation where things really snowballed on him, especially where Missouri State's getting a lot of confidence built up. And so for the most part, I was okay with it. Hey, you, like you said, man, you got to do what you got to do. You can't go 2-0 without getting the first one. And, I think I'm good with it. It got a little bit dicey. What was it, the 8th inning when they had to bring McIlvain in, and when that dude hit the ball off the wall, and I was thinking, here we go, man. And then the score bug was tripping on us with ESPN. We thought they gave up another run, but hey, for the most part, man, I'm happy with it. They never let it get too close for comfort, at least in my opinion. If it's a 1 or 2 run game, I really start to panic a little bit, but we never got to that point, so I'm good with it, man.
Yeah, over the first few outings, you really felt like Gabe Gackel was kind of coming on a little bit, and you had the outing against Kentucky where I think he went 5 innings, maybe 2 runs, 1 or 2 runs there. And then last week, of course, whenever he went against Texas, and I think he went about 6.
Shoved.
Yeah, he absolutely dealed. And then you were feeling, hey, if this is the postseason Gackel we can get, we can really ride this for the next few weeks in the postseason here. Hopefully you were hoping to see that a little bit today. You didn't quite get that. Wasn't his best outing again. So you know that there's still some variance there. You can't just 100% know that you're going to be able to count on Gabe Gackel to shove the way he did. He's not quite there yet. Maybe he figures it out. We'll see. You got to win tomorrow first before you can look that far. Steele Eves did pretty well, and then Coyle kind of struggled a bit.
Yeah.
Ethan McIlvain I think it was the double, and then you closed it out, and McIlvain looked good, and I think it went well for the most
22
part.
pitches for McIlvain.
22 pitches.
Okay, fine.
I think, honestly, every arm that threw for Arkansas in this game, and I would include Gabe Gackel in this, every single arm will be available at some point in this region. Now, for Gabe, it would, of course, be on Monday. I think McIlvain could be available tomorrow. You'd probably like to not use him back-to-back days. But if you're in a 3-2 game in the 9th inning, you're going to have to go to Ethan McIlvain. But we're going to talk about the scoring recap and kind of break this game down inning by inning a little bit, talk about the fight that we just saw on the field, which brings us to Fight House Club, the Fight House Gym in Northwest Arkansas, #1 boxing, MMA, and strength training gym built for athletes, competitors, and anyone ready to push their limits, from high-energy boxing and MMA training to free weights, elite cardio equipment, sleds, and cross-training. Fight House Gym delivers everything you need to train at the highest level, and you got to get in now on their summer savings sale because the summer just got stronger. You get 20% off every martial arts and fitness membership at Fight House Gym. This offer ends July 5th, so get after it while you can. Train hard, save bigger, whether you're a seasoned fighter or just starting your fitness journey. This is the gym that meets you where you are and pushes you further. It's not just a gym, it's a mindset. Fight House Gym is now open at 10131 Webbway in Fayetteville, exit 58 off I-49. And so, guys, you mentioned the start and how we felt a little shaky there. First hitter of the game, Bryce Sermonelli, who there's always these guys on opposing teams that just you can tell right away. It's like, we got an issue here.
I never want to see him again, honestly.
Never want to see that guy again. I think he ended up reaching base 4 times in this game. Second pitch of the game gets an elevated fastball from Gabe Gackel. Honestly, not a horrible pitch. Goes the other way with it. I didn't think this ball was getting out, but it got just over. It went 380 feet, right over that 375 fence right there. Kind of a little bit of a shell shock right away. Gackle comes back and gets a couple quick outs, and then the cleanup, then the 5-hole hitter singles to center field. Thought you had him thrown out at second base. Cam Nicosiel couldn't quite get the tag down. Wound up being a pretty big play because then Caden Bogenpole, who's one of the bigger prospects on this Missouri State team, singles to center field and makes it a 2-0 game. Arkansas didn't do much offensively. You had a 2-out single from Ryder Helfrich in the first. You had a 2-out walk from Micah New. That was really it in terms of the first 2 innings. I believe Damian Ruiz singled and advanced a second on that throwing error. But it was the top of the 4th. And Gackle, by the way, started to find a little bit of a groove in innings 2 and 3. Felt like, okay, maybe he is going to be able to give you that 5 or 6. But Missouri State was able to kind of get him out of the game after a 4th inning where you issue a walk to Carter Bergman. You have a base hit to right field, which winds up putting runners on first and third due to a mishandle from Zach Stewart. They didn't count that as an unearned run, by the way. That run wound up coming to score on a squeeze play, which is a perfectly executed. They end up intentionally walking Bryce Sermonelli. You have a drop third strike to the 2-hole. Their shortstop who had a rough game. And then eventually you have a line drive to Curry Sutherland. TJ Pompey makes the nice play. One of many nice plays. Likely saved Arkansas at least 2 runs in that inning.
100%. I mean, that completely changed the trajectory of everything for me. You just mentioned, it was not necessarily a comedy of errors there, but a couple plays that you just, you kind of need to make, and a little bit of unfortunate luck, and all of a sudden that could have been a 5-0 game, and that's trouble, man. Confidence, momentum, all that stuff there. You were able to stop the bleeding before you really started gushing it. That was a heck of a play, man. And we kind of said at the time, I put it in the Discord, the chat. I was like, just save the damn season, But seriously, it kind of felt that way. And listen, given the circumstances there for Gackle, and that's why, because I understand he didn't execute as well as you would like him to today, and maybe just kind of picking around a little bit too much, or just put some guys away when you're ahead of the count. Yeah, sure, okay, it wasn't his ace game, but. If I've got a guy who's, kicking the ball around in right field and we got the pass ball, like some of these situations, I strike a guy out, but he's getting to first base anyway. You got to have a little bit of mental toughness to be able to get out of that. I understand that ball was struck well, whatever. It was hit to a place where somebody could catch it. You got out of it. Fine. I'm good with it. I kind of thought that they were going to bring him back out there, to be honest with you, but they went to Steel Leaves, and hey, he did a job.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the difference between 3 and 5 runs is really huge.
Absolutely,
especially,
man.
I mean, you're looking up at the scoreboard, 3 runs, you see it, you're like, hey, we can string together a few hits here and we can get on top of that. But 5, it starts to feel a little bit daunting.
Yeah.
That's where you look up and you're going, man.
You're in an Auburn situation.
Exactly. Like whenever they and for them, because obviously this isn't about Auburn, but they don't have the offense quite as much, so it becomes even more insurmountable. But you just don't want that to start piling up. Then they just carry that momentum, and then you end up down 10 runs and you're just kind of just punting at that point. So yeah, that play by TJ Pompey was just huge in that moment.
Yeah, you could look at Gackle's outing and say, well, he's probably 1 or 2 pitches away from maybe giving up 5 or 6 runs. You know, could have been a really rough outing. He's also 1 or 2 pitches away from getting through, 4 or 5 innings with 1-run ball with 7 strikeouts, in which case we're like, man, we'll take that every day. That's high-level postseason baseball. That's kind of the name of the game here. I thought an underrated inning in this game was the bottom of the 4th, and this was the final inning for the Missouri State starter, Max Knight, the lefty, who Arkansas was seeing for the 3rd time. Zach Stewart works a 4-out walk. TJ Pompey grounds into a double play, which felt like a huge deflating moment in the moment. First pitch to Nolan Souza, smokes it up the middle, ends up barely beating out an infield single. Now, it should have been a base hit up the middle, bounces off the pitcher. He almost got thrown out there. Good hard 90, gets him to first base. He steals second base, so Arkansas' speed starting to affect this game a little bit. And then Micah New, the first of his 4 hits today, gets a 2-2 breaking ball, deposits it into left field. He wound up also stealing second base. Carter Rutenbar worked a walk. Arkansas was only able to get 1 run there, but you make it a 3-1 game. You kind of stay in it a little bit. That was massive, I thought. Then you have Steel Leaves come in and gets through the top of the 5th inning. Had a little bit of shenanigans there with the weird, did he get hit by a pitch? Did he not? But good work overall from Steel Leaves.
Listen, that's still questionable in my mind, by the way, but whatever.
Absolutely. And then here was where the game really was won. This is where the game was decided. Max Knight comes out of the game, the lefty. They go to Brock Lucas. Now, this has been happening. The 3 times Arkansas has played Missouri State this year, the first time they started Max Knight, went to Brock Lucas. The second time, they started Brock Lucas and went to Max Knight. And by the way, Brock Lucas went 5 2/3 of 2-run, no unearned runs against Arkansas. So they were probably having some confidence. Senior, been in the SEC before, pitcher from Missouri. You see this happen sometimes. You're facing the lefty throwing 88, 89. and you're having a little bit of trouble. Now we've got a righty throwing 93, 95. That's exactly what Arkansas was ready to hit. Damian Ruiz gets it going with a single up the middle. Camden Kojal works a full count walk after trying to bunt his way on. Ryder Helfer with a good piece of hitting, hits a double down the right field line. Thought it was going to get out, didn't, whatever. Then you have a Zach Stewart ground out, which ties the game at 3. Runners on second and third, nobody out. You just kind of felt we need both of those runs. Zach Stewart shortens up, does his job in a 1-2 count, gets a run home there, and then TJ Pompey just kind of pokes a breaking ball into left field. Nolan Souza works a walk. Now we've got a pitching change. They go to a lefty. Micah New hits the first of his 2 doubles of the day. Carter Rutenbar works a walk. Reese Robinette ropes a single to right field. Another pitching change, and then you have Damian Ruiz hustles down the line, beats out the throw at first on a double play ball, gives Arkansas a very important 6th run of the inning on 5 hits. Once Arkansas took the lead, was that like the most secure 1-2-3 run lead you've ever felt?
100%. Yeah, because
at least it felt that way in the moment.
Sure, yeah. I mean, they really kept pouring it on there. What could have snowballed for Arkansas in Gackel's final inning, that's exactly how it played out for Missouri State there. It's like all of a sudden they can't get anybody out. I kept looking up. They kept changing pitchers, and there's another guy on base, another run scored. I'm like, there's still just one out? Like what the heck is going on here? This is almost like the Kentucky game all over again, man. This is crazy. But yes, for Arkansas to be able to capitalize in those situations, really, really key. And they did it in a variety of ways. We even talked about it at one point in that first game, Kansas Northeastern, balls flying all over the place. Home run after home run after home run. Obviously, this game starts with a home run, and Arkansas was doing it without hitting a bunch of long balls there, just kind of piecing it together in different ways. And that was good to see. And yeah, after that inning, I felt really secure about things. And I would have liked to see them maybe add on a little bit. They moved it up to 8-3 at one point. We were talking at the time like, oh, you get a couple runs here, maybe it's 9-3, 10-3. You start to feel really good. And it almost came to fruition why we wanted that when they got a couple runs a little bit there later. But hell of an inning there for Arkansas, man. That was good to see. Flex your muscle a little bit, man.
Yeah, no, I really felt a sigh of relief once you took that lead, because you knew that you finally worked Knight out of the game, and then you got to the pin, and then you just kept roping them down the line. You kept getting guys on base, and then you felt like, hey, it feels like whoever they're going to bring in now, you're going to be able to handle them. And no matter whether they start making a little bit iffy there, you will be able to handle the pitchers that they bring in. So that was just important.
Yeah, another one, and that's another thing. When you decided to start Gackel and save Hunter Dietz, you also were putting a little bit of pressure on your bats, because you kind of think, hey, we're going to have to win a game with our bats in one of these regionals. This turned out to be a game where Arkansas was able to kind of do that. They get an extra run in the 6th inning on a Micah New infield single, just a little squibber to second base, but he beats it out. Zach Stewart had started the inning with a base hit, came around to score there. And then you have a Micah New double in the bottom of the 8th that gave Arkansas a very important insurance run that they got back, because Parker Coyle ran into a little bit of a trouble. They full count walk to start the 8th inning, had a base hit through the right side, had a base hit through the left side, and then Ethan McIlvain comes in and does give up that 2-run double. Of course, those runs go to Parker Coyle.
Fortunate it was only 2.
Yeah, very fortunate it was only 2. And that ball this close to getting out. Could have very well been 4. It would have probably wound up being okay. But ultimately, Arkansas able to get this game done with their bats. We're going to get into your chats, guys, because we appreciate you being here. This has been a fun edition of the Baumbastic Podcast. And a reminder, we're here in Lawrence, Kansas at Johnny's Tavern, one of the coolest bars that we've been to in our travels, that I would say. Cool little atmosphere here. As Arkansas softball, by the way, just gave up a run. You know what can comfort you in a time like this?
What's that?
Blue Ember Smokehouse can comfort you in a time like this. They're a family-owned smokehouse specializing in handcrafted barbecue, from tender brisket to home-cooked sides. You'll find a hearty meal for every member of the family. They operate the Blue Ember way, only buying the highest quality meats, applying their signature blend of spices, and slowly smoking it in their wood-only pits. They allow the meats to rest to ensure optimal tenderness and cut it in front of the customer to provide transparency and satisfaction in every bite. If you're having a wedding, a party, business meeting, any gathering where a group of people need to be fed amazing barbecue, Blue Ember has you covered. Please contact those individual stores for more info and specific pricing. They're in West Little Rock, they're in Hot Springs, Jonesboro, Fort Smith, Texarkana, and of course, the Rogers location that likes to host us the first Wednesday of every month. Now let's get a look at this chat, see what everybody's saying right here. And as we know, these are the rules that we can't break. Super chats do get read first. So shout out to our guy, Big Salty Hog. We appreciate you, brother.
Yes.
Says, great way to end a Friday. Doesn't even feel like a Friday because we kind of been working and it's, a little bit hectic.
I don't know
here.
what day it feels like, but it doesn't feel like a Friday.
It doesn't
You're
feel
right.
like Friday, but he has a great way to end the Friday. Helfrich's double completely flipped the momentum and put Arkansas in control. Wish I was there with y'all. Excited to follow along with you on the road to Omaha. Andrew equals baseball GOAT.
There we go.
So I can co-sign that statement for sure.
You pat yourself on the back, buddy.
Yeah, that Ryder Helfrich double was when I knew for a fact Arkansas was winning. I felt good about their chances to win once they started getting some guys in scoring position and making some things happen. That's when I knew for sure that they were going to win, right?
I like that. Yeah. Yep.
And we got our guy Bo says, is Rudenbar's bat that much better than Turner's? Really seems like we could use a defensive boost out there. Yeah, so, they did wind up bringing Christian Turner in to play right field for Zach Stewart. He actually pinch ran for him and then came in and played the last, I guess, inning or two defensively. So, yeah, it would kind of help you if you maybe put Christian Turner in right field, had Zach Stewart DHing, get an extra bat in the lineup. I don't think Rudenbar's bat is that much better. I think Rudenbar's done a good job. I also thought Rudenbar had good ABs in this game. So as much as Rudenbar, he's had his ups and downs. Definitely went through a little bit of a struggle there for the last couple of weeks, but I like the way he swung the bat in the last couple of games in Hoover. I thought he swung the bat pretty well tonight. I'm all for Christian Turner getting some opportunities, but I don't know if right now it's necessarily bench Carter Rutenbar time.
Yeah, I like what you said to me about Rutenbar, that he was he's young, but he's wise beyond his years.
I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I guess he goes 0 for 3 with a strikeout, 2 walks.
It's okay, yeah.
I guess he didn't score any runs, but yeah.
I was just gonna say, by the way, whenever you want to, it looks like we've got John has uploaded a bunch of video clips from the press conference that we get to whenever. So
we definitely will. Wayne says, where does Hoagland Ballpark rank as far as parks y'all been to? So this is a good time for us to just do our atmosphere environment recap.
Sure,
Curtis, I want you to just you do your best here.
Underwhelmed. I got to be honest. And listen, I had a great time. Shout out to the Razorback fans who came out there. I must have called the Hogs 15 times in this game today. I understand that, but it didn't feel NCAA tournament-ish, and maybe we're spoiled. Maybe what we've seen at Baum Walker with some of the incredible thing, the crowds and sold out parks, and it's a little bit different. You think about the intensity of that one at Oklahoma State a couple years ago, and it wasn't bad. It's just different out there. And I know somebody asked a question about the backyard and everything. We'll talk about all that. But at the same time, I think you got to understand that it was 2 visiting teams playing at the host site. And so that does have an impact, obviously, on the atmosphere and everything. So I would like to reserve some of my judgment for tomorrow, because that's going to be the game that everybody wanted to see. Arkansas, Kansas, the home team versus the favorite. I might walk out of that one feeling entirely different, but there's just something about that stadium, the way that it's set up, the amount of people that were in there. I didn't have that, regional buzz that I thought I would. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I think you're right, because we talk about this. It felt a lot like the first weekend in Arlington as far as stakes, and it's not supposed to really feel like that. And obviously that's a much bigger stage, but that's kind of like the vibe of it. It just didn't have that intensity to it that you usually feel during a regional in Fayetteville or wherever. And it was kind of funny because I looked over at Curtis, because every time somebody would walk by this little area that was in front of us, one of the floors would pop really loud, and I thought somebody just dropped a baby or something. It scared me every time. But yeah, no, it was an odd little atmosphere, but I'm really excited to see what it looks like whenever you have the home environment with all the Kansas fans in there tomorrow. So I'll be curious to see that.
I'm really not trying to be mean when I say this. It really did feel like a high-level high school atmosphere. I got to play. There's a school in Baton Rouge, Catholic BR, and they have a pretty nice, cool little bleachers, a few little chairs that fold down. And when we'd play there, we'd be like, whoa, this is fancy. And, that crowd that was there today, that would be an electric, really great high school crowd. Definitely did not feel like an NCAA tournament crowd. And it took us a while before we were like, yeah, this is the biggest game of our season, because it didn't necessarily feel that way. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I'm not taking my shots at Kansas. Just being honest with how we felt in the arena, and maybe it definitely will feel better tomorrow.
Yeah,
with no doubt about that.
I hope, Cameron, I hope we can get in there tomorrow. We'll see what the ticket situation looks like. But we weren't there, but we were able to see their crowd for the game against Northeastern and everything, and it seemed like it was loud and rowdy, and certainly the stands and everything were full. And we know there's a lot of Arkansas fans who are here for this. So I would imagine it's going to be, it's not going to be like the most overwhelming, the biggest crowd or anything like that. But I bet it's going to be pretty lively in there tomorrow. It should be fun.
I was a little bit disappointed by the lack of chippiness between Arkansas and Missouri State, if I'm being honest with you. These teams were jawing at each other on Tuesday nights. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like you kind of need a little extra edge to get through a Tuesday.
Yeah,
and
I'm
you
so glad you said this. Yeah.
There was no chippiness. Like, there was chippiness between the umps and the dugouts, but really, like, the players, I didn't think it really got that chippy.
Yeah. I'm actually disappointed that was the case, especially because there was some adversity there. Like, you give up a dinger to open the game. You're down 3-0. You fight back. I kind of thought that there would be some more animosity, maybe a little bit of talking back and forth between the dugouts or whatever, but there was really none of that. In fact, there was a lot of time periods in this game where I was kind of looking around going, it feels a little sleepy. It feels a little sleepy in the stands. It feels a little sleepy between the dugouts. And I don't know, man. It was just a little bit different. There was also this threat of ominous weather. Like, they come over the loudspeaker and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, severe weather is moving into the area. We'll keep you informed. And I'm like, I guess we're going to have to get out of here pretty soon. No. Nothing happened. Nothing happened the entire. It's actually hot.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because it felt like it really lacked that juice because after like that first, obviously 2 pitches, and whenever it hit over the wall, you're like, oh boy, here we go. Like, this feels a lot like the games that we played with them earlier where you just couldn't keep them from getting runs. And then it kind of just settled down. Like, you didn't have that chippiness to it. And everybody kind of just settled in. I was expecting a little bit more Zach Stewart hate, to be honest with you. Like, whenever they'd strike him out, because whenever we watched them at Missouri State this year, they were into it. Whenever they got Zach Stewart out, like, that was the biggest out that they could get. That was their Super Bowl, just getting him out. They loved that. I didn't really feel any of that today.
Yeah, I would agree. Shout out to Washburn Idol. Our guy says, imagine losing the opener of a regional in 2026. Couldn't be the pig.
Could not.
On a day that saw the first ever number 1 overall seed lose to a 4 seed in the opening game of a regional. I think there were maybe 2 or 3 overall.
Shout out to Little Rock.
1 seeds. Yeah, Little Rock knocks off a 1 seed. Auburn gets that work today. There were a lot of 3-2 upsets. Arkansas was not one of them. There were a lot of 3-2 upsets.
And a lot of folks were saying that Missouri State was the best of the 3 seeds. So, you know.
Yeah, that is fair.
They were saying that they should have been a 2 seed.
Yeah.
I think they were projected in many of them as to be a 2 seed.
You put them
Quad
anywhere
1
else.
game. Another quad 1 win for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Exactly. You put Missouri State anywhere else, they're getting a dub today, but not against the pig.
I like
Sorry,
that.
boys.
And listen, I remember us sitting, not here, we were sitting at Foghorns, but I remember us sitting there after the North Dakota State game, and nobody was pissed, but there were a few people that are kind of like, not that great of a win. It's like, dude, game 1, if you can have game 1 be fairly low stress, which honestly this one had a little bit, but if you get through game 1 and you didn't completely exhaust everybody, which I know Arkansas used some arms, they didn't exhaust everybody.
For
you
sure.
gotta feel good for sure.
Missouri State gets through Northeastern tomorrow, right? We think that probably happens.
I imagine they score about 15 runs.
Yeah, I think so.
We got a new member. Shout out to It's Lynn. We got a new member. We got one of us.
I like that.
We got one of us. We appreciate you for being a member.
Was that the hold up, go back to that picture.
Wait, hold on. Here.
I was just wondering if that was the person that was just standing in front of the table staring at us for like 5 minutes a while ago. It's kind of a similar look, but maybe not.
I never noticed this stuff. Like, there was people apparently taking pictures of us earlier. Did not notice.
Did you notice? Like, literally right there.
No, I honestly wasn't even looking.
Maybe it was
for the longest. Yeah,
well, appreciate you, Lynn. And Jaron here gives Curtis his credit. He did call 9 to 5. I think Curtis was just singing the Dolly Parton song. I don't know if he was actually predicting the score. But, whatever. Ryan Baker here says, Steele Eves looks like a totally different arm. He's thrown that cutter slider with a lot of depth and the true cut fastball with his 2-seam and has changed him completely. He does, man. That breaking ball is like pretty good, and it's not bad. I think he got a couple swings and misses with it today. But that fastball that's got that sink with it, with that cutter, I think the first pitch he threw was a cutter, got a swing and miss. He's pitching with a lot of confidence. And I just think back to last year when Steele Eves was pitching in 11-2 games against Creighton whenever it was like kind of low leverage, but he would always do his job. And then he went out this summer in California and just did his job all summer. Happy to see him continue to get better. I mean, still just a sophomore. Love seeing the in-state kids shine. Seems like he's starting to pitch, some of his best innings down the stretch here. And you just love to see a guy that, one is from your state, but also a guy that just continues to get better and evolve. And that's what you want to see out of your top pitchers, man.
100%, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, earlier, whenever it was the fall ball, we were really going, oh, yeah, this guy looks like he's going to be the closer for this team. That was really before Ethan McIlvain really started showing out And that really happened during the regular season whenever he really proved that he was going to be that guy. We thought it was going to be Steele Eves. And then he went through that little stretch where he struggled a good bit. I think he struggled against Missouri State in that midweek game. I believe so.
Yeah, he gave up 4 runs in the first time.
Yeah, so it's good to see him finally come full circle and kind of figure it out a little bit. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see if he can keep that going. I'm sure he'll pitch again this weekend. Be nice to see if he can keep that going down here, down the stretch.
I like that. Back-to-back good chats from Ryan Baker. He says, TJ Pompey saved us at least 3 runs tonight. By the way, a little bit of a weird moment. So I guess it was the bottom of the 7th was when we left the stadium and we started to head over here, and it wound up taking us like an hour and a half. We just we drove all around the city of Lawrence, but there was a play that we thought Arkansas gave up a run because the ESPN app lied to us. Is that what happened there, basically?
Yeah, so it was right after McElvain gave up the double. It was 8-5, and the next batter was up there, and I guess they got the out right after that. So there's 2 outs, and we pulled up the ESPN app because you were getting ready to go in and get the camera, and so I was like, all right, well, let me pull this up on my phone for me and Cameron, and as I'm doing it, it's like 8-6. And we're like, okay, well, that's not good. What happened? And so we literally thought Arkansas had given up another run, then just a little chopper and gets the out. So I don't know if they thought a 3rd run scored on that double initially, but yeah, for a minute, the ESPN app had it as 8-6 with runners still on 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. And I was like, well, crap, but it wasn't a thing. So
yeah. Do we think Daniel Shee is happy tonight or sad that TJ Pompey didn't just strike out every at bat?
Yeah, I guess he's probably one. He's sad because the pig won, which actually I think I saw somebody literally have a chat about that.
We did have
Daniel
one
Shee
in there somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to Cash Flow Thrift. How pissed is Daniel Shee tonight? He's not pissed, but he's not happy. He has that Cal look where it's like when he was informed that Auburn lost. That's kind of the look that that Daniel Shee had on his face. This question here from Daniel Turner is a good question. So I saw the chat freaking out about this. He says, would Arkansas be the home team in the 1-0 game tomorrow? And everyone's like jumping down his throat. Dude, we're in Lawrence. Well, Daniel, you are right. They would be the home team tomorrow. That's my understanding. Now, I don't know if it gets to a coin flip at some point, but I feel like it's a weird thing where it's like that you don't be the home team twice, even though I know Arkansas was the home team today. It's just a bizarre thing. I remember them being the road team last year against Creighton in game 2. It's just one of those things. If for some reason in the 1-0 game, the home team is the road team, and we'll see if the atmosphere is a 50-50 split in terms of home.
Yeah, no. Whenever me and Curtis were actually at the backyard, I remember talking to him, and I was saying, "Oh, we're wearing the ice whites today. If we're the home team tomorrow, do we just wear the ice whites again?" Because I mean, the whole thing. I mean, and Brady Slavin's embraced the road grays. Are they going to really get to wear them that much? I mean, we'll find out, but it'll be interesting.
So from John, because he was in the press conference, and I guess that was a question that was asked. According to the Kansas SID, Kansas will be the home team tomorrow.
So I guess they do a coin flip.
Whatever. Yeah,
that's what it is. Okay, they try. If you can't, you got to be alternating. Like you can't be. They don't want you to be the home team twice in a row. But if there's a situation where obviously this situation, like 2 teams that are the home team in game 1, it's like a coin flip, literally.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. But we got reporting from John. How about
Kansas?
John
Kansas is also wearing the creams.
Okay.
So
I like maybe we should cream it up. Just cream on cream.
You
like that? No, you like that?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm into that, but
Interesting. Well, shout out to our girl Lindsay. She says something about baseball gives me more anxiety than basketball. I just feel more like it could go either way in baseball, even with a more technically skilled team. Either way, very happy right now. Go Hogs. Hogs. Basketball does have like that variance that kind of makes you nervous a little bit, but it's like, if you got the better athletes, it's really hard to, because even, you kind of know that if you're playing a team like High Point or whoever, you kind of know their only path is to hit a bunch of threes on us.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit easier to kind of control those controllables. In baseball, it's just a game of inches, game of weird things, and you just never really know.
And that's what I love about baseball is because it's very true. Like we talked about it quite a bit with, okay, well, what we experience during these midweek games will be different in this setting because they're going to see different arms. That could be the same exact case throughout the course of a game. Like Arkansas was struggling with that dude that Missouri State started today. As soon as he got out of there, it just felt like the game took on a completely different identity. And you don't get that with basketball. It's like the same starting 5 is going to be the same starting 5, man. And maybe one guy's shooting a little bit better one night versus the other, but the matchups by and large stay exactly the same. There's so much variance between games, between innings in baseball. Literally anything can happen. We've seen it throughout the country, all day today, honestly.
I feel like the thing with basketball is that you have the timer With baseball, you don't have a set time to where the game ends. Like if they go on a run and they just keep, it's like if somebody gets hot from 3 in basketball and they run out of time, the game's over. If like a lineup gets hot, they just keep hitting. The game don't end until those 3 outs happen. So that's kind of the way I see it.
You have to be constantly engaged. You can't really take, because in basketball, you can, dribble it out for 20 seconds. You can kind of coast a little bit and play a certain style. Baseball, it's like you got to keep getting in the boxing ring and just throwing haymakers, man.
That's right.
It just never ends.
Arkansas is wearing red tomorrow, by the way. So,
I like that. We never wear red these days, so I'm happy to see that for sure. We got some Cameron love in the chat. Filthy Tom says, dude, Cameron sounds like a legit media voice with that recap. They grew up so fast. Well, he's no longer intern Cameron. So if he sounds like a legit media voice, I can tell you the reason. It's because he is a legit media voice.
That's right. Our pup's got that dog in him.
Yeah, I like that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing my best, y'all. I'm trying.
Filthy Tom also says, it doesn't feel like we won a game in a regional, but it should. I don't know why I wanted to win more dominantly. 4-run dub and a 2-3 matchup in the postseason is about all you can ask for. I think that's a fair way to put it, where it's like, you maybe wanted a little bit more. I mean, not everyone can predict it exactly like Curtis. I do feel like as much as we were all kind of saying Arkansas is going to go 3-0, they're the favorite to win this regional. Like they're gonna kind of have no stress, no drama. I do think we were all kind of on the same page. Like this wasn't going to be a blowout, but I would say honestly, it played out about how we predicted it would early on.
Yeah,
with you exactly.
The early drama aside, I think they pretty much did exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't expect them to just go in there and just whip them into shape. Like, I knew it was going to be competitive. It feels like it's always competitive. These programs line up with each other a lot, and there is a little bit of bitterness there between the two. You got players transferring from the other program to Arkansas. You got all that. I think wasn't Ross Felder? He was an Arkansas Razorback. He's over there now. So you've got a little bit of that. It's always a fun time when these two programs match up with each other. And this was another high stakes one, which we're getting more and more used to because the NCAA loves putting us in the same little area together. So
the way you should look at it, Filthy Tom, Arkansas just completed a 3-game series with Missouri State, won the final 2, 12-4, 8-5, took care of business. You're the better team. Let's go. Let's move on. Speaking of people who don't necessarily like wins that much, Ryan says, does it frustrate you guys to see other teams execute bunts and small ball, but we never seem able? Most State, a big donkey slugging team, but executed small ball well. So it does. It doesn't frustrate me to see other people do it. It frustrates me when Arkansas tries to do it and doesn't. Although Arkansas really in this game, there really wasn't a situation, was there, where they tried small ball? Maybe Pompey acted like he was going to bunt one time. Kogel tried to do that one, but that wasn't like a small ball, like runner on third, let's try and bunt them in. You saw with Arkansas softball, who's as well-rounded, disciplined as a team. It's hard to do it in these high-leverage moments sometimes. And this team definitely has been really bad at it, but there's been plenty of years past where Arkansas's played a little bit of small ball. What Arkansas does well, though, they're good about taking that extra 90 feet, whether it's with stolen bases, whether it's just going first to third, whether that's going from second to home. Seems like Arkansas kind of makes up for some of that on the base pass sometimes.
They do. And maybe it stood out in a game like this because he's right that Missouri State, I thought, really executed a lot of that stuff very well. Softball is just getting smacked.
That looked like a home run, too. I think
I thought it was.
We're still in the second inning. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
Anyway,
Ryan says he thought Gackle looked better toward the end of his outing. We say that about a lot of starting pitchers where it's like you got to get them early if you're going to get them. And credit to Missouri State, jumped on them early. Jumped on a first pitch or a second pitch heater to start the game. Had a huge clutch 2-out hit from 2 of their top hitters. I know Bogenpool hasn't had great numbers, but he's one of their dudes. He's one of their top prospects. But I did feel like Gackle settled in. I felt like that third inning. I think it was like maybe a 10-pitch inning. That's where you really felt like, oh, man, he's really going to be able to give Arkansas something. I would have loved – if he had gone 5 innings, I would be inclined to be like, that was a good outing. Like, I'll take that. It wasn't great. But also, we know what Gackle can look like when everything's rolling a little bit. I do think that's an encouraging sign that he does continue to – and I think I said that earlier today where I was like, man, if Arkansas gets down early, I think they can hit their way out. If Gackle gets touched up early, I think he can battle that and still give Arkansas 4 innings. I think a lot of other pitchers probably would have not gotten through 4 innings in that outing, even some pitchers on this Arkansas roster.
Agreed.
And I also remember you saying, hey, it's honestly not that big of a deal because it's not. If you just give up a homer and 2 pitches, that kind of just happens sometimes. It's more the 30 pitches that he took afterwards where he's fighting through every at-bat. He's struggling up there. He's walking guys, giving up a few hits. that was honestly more concerning than him just right out the gate giving up that homer. I mean, we saw that.
Yeah, I would agree.
We saw that with Hunter Dietz this year against Missouri, where he gave up. It was 4 pitches. He had 3 runs because he hit a guy and he gave up 2 homers, and everybody was kind of freaking out. But then he settled in. I think he ended up going 6 or 7. He ended up going 6 or 7 innings that game, and he pitched really well by the end of it. So honestly, the 30 pitches after that opening home run were more worrying than the home run itself.
Yeah, I would agree. That had 33 pitches after 1 inning. I know, again, I'm not trying to give Gackle flowers for going 4 innings, but the fact that it wound up being a 4-inning outing, I felt like was huge. And then good on Steele also. I mean, Steele's a guy that, sometimes gives you 2 outs, sometimes gives you 4 outs, sometimes gives you 6 outs. He gave Arkansas 6 outs, and really, I felt like calmed down the game. I mean, it was 3-2 or 3-1 when Steele Leaves entered the ball game. It was, I think, 8-3, 7-3, maybe 8-3 whenever he left the game. And he ended up, by the way, getting the win, moving to 6-1. I thought anytime you have something, if someone gives you 1 inning less than you expected, you kind of need someone to step up for you. And unfortunately, it wound up being Ethan McElvain in this one. Yeah. Speaking of pitchers being used, Robert wants to know what pitching did Kansas use today? Not much of it. Dominique Vagley, their Friday night starter. Now, they did use their ace. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
He threw 7 innings for them, had a really good outing, got out of some big jams. That's why you go to him. And honestly, they needed him in this game. And I'm not,
it was a tight game, man.
It was a tight game.
Yeah.
And if he didn't execute some big pitches at some huge spots, that could have blown up on him really quick. I felt like Northeastern left a lot of meat on the bone. And I can't remember the guy's name, but they brought in basically their top bullpen arm in a 4-3 game. He threw the final 2 innings. I think he threw about 30, 35 pitches. So we'll see if that guy's available tomorrow, but not much. They did a good job kind of limiting the damage there. We got clarity on who Lynn is. Lynn.
Okay, it's not 2 tables down. Okay,
it's not 2 tables down. Cheers from David and I in Tennessee. Andrew was on fire tonight. Watch out, John. What does John need to watch out for? John's doing his job over there. And John, by the way, we're going to get to John's job because he put in some videos in the chat.
Yeah.
We might just watch all of them. They're not that long. We might just watch all of them.
Right.
But good stuff from John. But, yeah, we appreciate you Lynn, and you
Welcome.
and David are an official family of Inside Arkansas. I mean, David has a child, so I knew that at some point David, you know what I mean? And I just didn't know. I didn't know we would ever get to meet Mrs. David,
Big time. It's big time.
And appreciate Woo MF Pig, our guy. We love Woo MF Pig.
Yeah.
Woo MF Pig would love Johnny's Tavern in Lawrence,
Yes, Woo
Kansas.
MF Pig made it to the 3rd word before mentioning alcohol. So,
hey, that's huge. Says, had more beers today than total runs in the game, and it was a 9-5 game. So it's not like it was 2-1.
well done. Yeah.
Always a good day when that happens. Get after it tonight, fellas. Is Cameron even old enough to drink? He is, although we haven't forced him to drink or done anything crazy.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, no. I mean, I drink.
I was like, do you drink?
Rarely, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, I had a few drinks whenever I graduated a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
but that was probably about the last time. I might have some here tonight. If we win tomorrow night, I will.
Yeah, I'm having a celebration schooner over here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that. Big Salty Hog. Another super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Says, does Ryan equals negative Nancy Andrew? Yeah, he does.
Yes, of course.
And now listen, it's all in good fun. Like, we really do love Ryan and we appreciate him. And I'll give Ryan this. He lives and breathes the ball, man. Like he just, he really cares. And I've even every now and then once in a blue moon, I'll see Ryan be like, you know what, that was a good game. Like Arkansas will play a flawless performance, and he's like, you know what, not bad. He has high standards. He wants Arkansas to be great, and so I think there's also, and I don't know if this applies to Ryan. Y'all all know those guys who it's like a reverse jinx tactic a little bit, where it's like you're trying to speak it, you're trying to reverse jinx about being like, oh no, we suck, we're gonna lose, and then when they win, it's like win-win for you because you're either right or you forced Arkansas, you reverse jinx them, you made them win or something like that. I think there's maybe a little bit of that aspect to it.
I really do feel like me and Ryan have become boys throughout all portal season and everything here. You know what he does for a living?
What does he do?
Yeah.
What would you guess Ryan of all people did for a living?
Construction.
Okay.
I know what he's in. I think I know he's in web tech development or something like that.
He does IT.
I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
Which he just doesn't know how to type. That's the only thing. But he's great. Software, you can do that. I think David's in software too. We got a bunch of IT dorks in our chat.
They should start their own company. Partner with Inside Arkansas, inside the internet.
Or we should just hire them.
We could do that. We need help.
Partner with
and Jesus. Anyway,
y'all should have seen us trying to put this. By the way, there's y'all can't see our setup, and you don't need to. It's a little one of those circular tables
Like
at
a bar
bar.
table. Yeah.
And we've got like a Roadcaster, 2 laptops, beers, drinks, a camera,
Ketchup
It's
in a
just-
chair.
Yeah, we got stuff in chairs. We look like the smartest bunch in the world over here. Washburn Idol says, "Yo, that building in right field is insane. 2 balls vanished and reemerged, and we never got to see an angle of the actual landing spot." Well, honestly, I'm glad that happened to y'all, because where we were sitting kind of down the first baseline, directly behind the Arkansas dugout, we were close enough. That's the one thing I do like about Hoagland Park, and I do mean the one thing I like about it is you're so close to the atmosphere. There's not much foul ground behind home plate, which in most parks just isn't that way. And, at Baum, you're kind of elevated. You're a little bit further back. You don't feel that close unless you're sitting directly behind the dugout. We were like, we could pretty much dap up Micah New as he was coming in from center field to come into the dugout.
we could hear what the fellas were saying to Gabe Gackle when he was coming back down.
Genuinely, I could hear some of those
this is really
conversations.
cool, man. I like that a lot.
But we could not see right field line.
No,
That Ryder Helfrich double, I have no idea.
I saw the dude leave his feet like diving for it. I had no idea what the outcome was until I heard the people on the opposite end, making their reaction. And that was mostly Missouri State fans being like, "Damn it!" So
Yeah, no, it really did feel like you were just right on top of them. It felt like you could just go down and just start talking to them right there. I know one of the parents came by and was like, "Hey," and then they literally looked right back up, and I'm like, "Oh, hi!" Like they were on top of them. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting little stadium that they got.
Yeah, very much. Hayden, our guy Hayden, who if we were hosting a regional, we'd probably be having a drink with Hayden right about now.
Yeah.
It says 9 more to go. Is that, I don't know if this is a beer reference or if this is a national title reference, but I do like that. 10% of the way there, 10% of the way to a natty. Is that right?
Works for me.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that. I saw a chat here real quick from Blanny, who says Q39 is the best barbecue in Lawrence if you want killer brisket and burn ends. So I have been to Q39, not here. I've been to it in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I did at Q39? I ordered a mac and cheese appetizer, and it was like $10, nothing crazy. They brought it out in this little bitty cast iron skillet that, I kid you not, was like this big.
Mm-hmm.
I just took the cast iron skillet. I was like, man, you're going to charge me
skillet?
Yeah, I donated it to Hillary. Me and Hillary had just started dating. I was like, I'm bringing this back and giving it to my girlfriend. And because I was like, dude, you're going to charge me $10 for mac and cheese.
It's
just a little bitty thing. I'm like, I'm assuming the cast iron skillet is involved.
You're bringing your wife to be a skillet. Is that sending a message for
possibly
in the kitchen woman?
She loved it. She loved it.
All right, good.
Well, we're going to get a look at what DVH and the players had to say about this game. But before we do that, of course, want to remind you about one of our other presenting sponsors of the Baumbastic Podcast, OZK Insurance. Are you tired of juggling insurance companies just to find the right coverage? At OZK Insurance and Rogers, they make insurance simple again. They're a 100% independent agency, so they shop the entire marketplace to deliver the best combination of cost and coverage, saving you both time and money. Whether it's home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, or commercial insurance, their friendly team has access to a wide range of flexible options designed just for you. They serve Northwest and Central Arkansas, including Bentonville, Centerton, Fayetteville, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Springdale, and beyond. Sounds like Buzz Lightyear. Let OZK Insurance be the trusted advisor you need, and don't take my word for it. Just trust the 600 5-star Google reviews they've got. You can start today with a free online quote at ozkinsurance.com. Call 479-715-4200, or you can check out their new mobile app, OZK Insurance Protection Made Simple. This is our favorite game that we like to play here, where John, by the way, and John, credit to John, producer John. They were saying we should call you producer Cameron, which we can, but this is co-host Cameron for the time being. When it's Baumbastic, it's co-host Cameron, which, works. John pulls these clips for us, which is great, and we appreciate that, and he titles them. So I'm going to ask you guys, we got DVH on Fight, DVH on Gackle, DVH on Pompey. Which one sounds cooler to you guys?
I think we got to lead off with Fight.
Yeah, let's lead off with
Let's
Fight.
hear about the grit of this baseball team.
I like that.
Really good job with 2 strikes. Got a couple big hits with 2 strikes and put the bat on the ball, made him feel that just, I don't know. You asked a question a minute ago about how was the mood in the dugout. Well, it wasn't great. And it was kind of quiet, but, we kept talking to him, saying we got plenty of time. And it was huge for Gackle to get us 4 innings. And, we gave him the 3rd run. Booted the ball, runner advanced from 2nd to 3rd, and they basically safety squeezed him in. And so that was a little frustrating. But, guys made up for it. They put the bat on the ball, driving a run, just like Stewart. 2 strikes, chopped the ball to first, drove in a run, I think to tie it or get the lead, I don't remember. And just little things like that. But I don't know. Yeah, we kept fighting. That's what I liked.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're fighting.
Somebody asked about the moon in the dugout. Wasn't great. That's pretty good.
I mean, you can tell, like, you know, when you're a setting like this and you win the game, you know, sometimes after a big win, you know, you can tell, like, Cal or whoever it is, they want to, like, savor the win. Dave is not in savor the win mode right now. He's like, we play tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Like, I'm tired of talking about that stupid game. That was years ago.
I feel like we should listen to the McIlvain one now, because I feel like, honestly, some of that is probably he's a little bit mad that he had to go to McIlvain later on in that game.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is a short clip, so we'll see what this looks like.
Well, we'll just see how he feels tomorrow. I think he threw, 22 pitches? Yeah, I mean, he's a big old boy. He's okay.
Coach, I want to ask you about Damien.
He's a big old boy. He'll be okay. I like how you just looked down. He's like, yeah, 22.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm clipping that, and I'm using it for the rest of this postseason for any reason I possibly can.
Yeah,
anyway.
McIlvain will throw like 4 1/3 in the Super Regional. He's a big old boy. He'll be okay. Yeah, he'll be okay. Real quick, we're not going to go through all these, but I do want to hear what he had to say about TJ Pompey, who, as we said, I mean, might have had the most impact in the game. A couple nice at-bats and a few huge plays.
The drive he caught was starting to sink, and he kind of found his glove. The ball gets by him. That's 2 in. Probably runners at first and third and 2 outs, and who knows what would have happened there. All of a sudden, we're down a lot. He made that play. We came in. I think we scored a run. He caught that line drive, that short hop ball, and then I don't know. We had 2 strikes, center fielder again, kind of had the shift on. We had him, Pompey moved over and hit it right at him. He made that play. But he had a really good day in the field, and we needed it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we agree. I mean, TJ Pompey was absolutely massive.
Yeah,
we were
no
actually
doubt.
talking about his defense the other day, and we were kind of like, you know, it hadn't been horrible, but, you know, like the last few weeks there's been just a couple hard hit balls that you're like, oh, man, would have liked to see you get to that one. He was nails today, man. Had some nice at-bats as well there. I think Dave is going to announce tomorrow's starting pitcher. Breaking news reported first by the Baumbastic Podcast. We'll see what he has to say.
Yeah, that's the plan, is to pitch in tomorrow night unless something crazy goes on, you know, with his leg or whatever. But, yeah, he seems to be feeling good. So he's moving around good and no complaints. I feel like he's ready to go. So that's who we'll go with.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
He's
a
good.
big
He's
a
all
big
right.
boy. He'll be all right.
I mean, yeah, another big boy who will be all right. And by the way, we did. I guess you guys didn't. John and I got to meet Michael Dietz, father of Hunter Dietz.
Nice.
So we're officially part of the Dietz family. We met his
Good.
mother as well, whose name is escaping me. That's not the point.
Wow.
Julie is his mother's name, I'm pretty sure. Julie, who just hit a home run there.
that
Was
was
that
a
USC?
tank, brother.
Yeah, that was USC.
Yeah,
I'm
good
pretty-
grief,
yeah,
man.
It was.
He
As
pissed on
someone
that one.
who owns a USC to win the College Station Regional bet, I do like that. I do like that
You
result.
love to see it.
Real quick, I did want to also play this video. This is Steele and Micah New talking about Kansas. Not a super long video, but I'm interested to see just if they had anything crazy
among
to
the
say.
team.
We like playing on the road. I think that's it. I'm ready to go.
I also think that, you know, they're a really good team. We're going to have to, you know, from the first pitch, get after them. But they got something to prove, and they're going to bring energy, and they're going to bring juice, and there's going to be a lot of fans, so it should be interesting.
Should be interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting matchup. You know, we'll see how it works. And I like Micah New. Micah New's feeling himself.
I like that a lot.
He's got a lot of
yeah.
confidence,
That's
man.
kind of got me fired up, to be honest with you.
I love when they bring Micah New to the pressers because he always says something real like low key like that. Remember I don't remember if you saw these, but he had the little dragon that he would bring to the pressers.
do remember
And people
that,
would ask him, and he's just like, I can't tell you.
It's going.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Wow, man, I'm seeing. By the way, I saw people defending Cameron in the chat, and I was kind of wondering. I'm like, man, what are they defending him against? What happened? I saw some mean comments about Cameron, which I didn't like.
What the hell, man?
People are saying mean things about
Cubs fan was being just a little bit
we don't-
jokingly mean, but
We
you know.
yeah. Why are we hazing Cameron? It's because
I know,
he's not
what's
an
up with
he's
that?
not an intern anymore.
We've already
It's-
initiated him, guys. I mean,
people,
come on.
people have said everything that could possibly be said about you and me and John. So like it's fresh meat, so there's part of this is just going to happen,
Well, and it's also one of those things where it's like, we can make fun of Cameron sometimes. You guys can't. Like, I mean, come on. And by the way, we don't make fun of Cameron, right?
No,
we really make fun of
He looked at me like a hurt dog, like punching.
I did without him. I discreetly took a video of him losing to Bowser on Nintendo last night. I posted it on the Discord. But other than that, we haven't really.
Bowser was whipping me into shape. I could not beat him.
Wait, by the way, we're not talking about Cooper Bowser. By the way,
No.
We are talking about Mario.
Cooper Bowser did not make it.
You could
to
definitely
Lawrence,
beat
Kansas.
Cooper Bowser.
Oh wow, Cooper Bowser shade. What are we talking about here? By the way. We're getting beers offered to us. Curtis will drink at least one of those. Curtis will drink one. Yeah.
My man.
Hell yeah, man.
Appreciate that, brother.
Appreciate
Thanks so
you,
much.
brother.
Woo pig. That's what I'm talking about
best
right
place
now.
in the world right
Let's
here.
go. Yeah, that's
also,
big time right
real
there.
quick, do we agree?
Thank you.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
We'll take
appreciate
care of him for you, I promise. Do we agree Micah New has like the right level of black scent? Like he's not full on Connor Wegman. He's not full on
not Tyler
Tyler
Nickel.
Nickel. He's just like little minor, 10%. Got that Australian black scent going on.
It feels more authentic than those guys. Those guys, I
It
felt like they
does.
just put it on a little
Yeah.
bit too thick,
By the way, funny story about Micah New. He's told it before. His Instagram bio, if you go to Micah New's Instagram, it's just the truth.
Yeah.
And, he's the Cape Cod League MVP. And he said when he first got to the Cape, his teammates were kind of giving him a hard time. Like, oh, you're the truth? Oh, okay, buddy. Yeah, nice to meet you, Mr. Truth. And then all of a sudden, you hit about 8 or 9 home runs. You're leading the league, and you're the league MVP. You're all-star and all that. All of a sudden, it's not that funny. Now you realize he is the truth. Micah New, 1,000 batting average in the NCAA tournament. Love to see that. I accidentally pulled this comment up earlier, but I wanted to go ahead and touch on it now. Hayden Short says, fellas, nothing really to add here other than I love y'all. Inside Arkansas is awesome, and I've had a blast being a daily listener. We appreciate you, Hayden Short, man. We appreciate you just hanging out with us. We see you in the chat every now and then. But regardless, shout out to you for carrying the banner for the silent enjoyers,
Yeah, that's big time there. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. It's pretty cool, man, to have people that look forward to what we do and people that tap in every single day. I absolutely love this. We're having a hell of a time. So if people enjoy it along the way, that makes it even better. But this is a blast, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
The travel's the best part of this too, by the way.
Yeah,
being on the road, being on location, doing stuff like this is by far the best part of what we do.
I would say so, yeah. And being able to just come here and meet people and listen, I woke up this morning and I knew nothing about Kansas club rugby and the culture that they've built here.
I know everything about it now.
I know everything about it. I've seen the history upstairs. Really cool stuff. And, this is a place that we want to come back for basketball.
Yeah.
Cal,
yeah.
just if you
Make
give
it
us
happen.
one, in the next 3 years, we got to have a matchup at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. We've had to come to the stupid Kansas facility. Let us at least go to the cool one,
Yeah. Oh, 100%. If Bill Self pulls up, Backyard Bill, as Cameron was calling him, if he pulls up to the backyard tomorrow like he did, for that first game today, we're gonna corner him about it. We're gonna make sure that this happens. Bring us to the Fog. Let's do it.
I like that. A couple quick super chats to get to before we get you guys out of here so you can enjoy your Friday night and we can enjoy ours. Our guy Hayden says Julie's son is about to take the wind out of that cracker box tomorrow. I really hope I got her name right. Her name's actually Julie. But regardless, Hunter Dietz, that's the important thing here. Hunter Dietz is going to shove tomorrow for the Arkansas Razorbacks. And I am excited, man. Been a long time coming for us to watch a Hunter Dietz postseason start. Man, it is going to be exciting, and I'm excited for him and his family who are here to see him.
He's going to shove, too.
I think so, too. I don't know if Kansas has seen anybody like him all year.
They better get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited also because Hunter Dietz, I will say, he's one of those dudes that I always told people, because leading up to the season, it was one of those things he hadn't pitched much, and there was obviously a lot of hesitancy of like, can we really trust this guy? And I certainly didn't expect him to be first team all SEC good, one of the top pitchers in all of baseball good. But I would always tell people, man, if you go and see the dude in person, you will feel a little bit differently about him because he's just a big old horse out there, dude. Like, and he looks strong. He looks like if you watch behind home plate, and hopefully we can maybe get a seat somewhere where we kind of see that, you're just like, you see it from the hitter's point of view, and you're like, good Lord, that's pretty pretty imposing there. So I'm like, dude, he's going to help. I didn't know it'd be this much, but definitely. So I'm excited since we're going to be so close that we'll get to see him and see, because, we got to see some. I mean, we were not there when Ethan McIlvain was pitching, but the pitchers that we saw weren't like necessarily the most physically imposing necessarily.
This is true. Yeah, I cannot wait, man.
We got a question for Cameron, by the way. This is from WMF Pig, who says, has to prove to Curtis. Oh, not for Cameron. Sorry, I'm tripping. I thought for some reason I just thought I read Cameron earlier. He says, have to prove to Curtis I'm not just an alcoholic and I do know ball too. What's the ideal pitching situation tomorrow? Dietz for 7 and then who? What do you say, Cameron?
Boy. I mean, I really think it depends on the situation. If Dietz is dealing and you're up like 8 runs or something, I mean, that's hopeful thinking a little bit. Like, I don't know if we're going to go. I mean, hey, now, I mean, maybe not. But yeah, if you have a big old lead and you're going into the 7th. Yeah.
Yeah. Dietz for 7.
Yeah. Dietz for 7. If Dietz gives you 7, you should be up at least like 4
because Kansas ain't going to hold them down.
Yeah,
they're not going to hold down the bat.
I don't think they're going to be able to hold them down that long. And I would expect Arkansas to be up a few runs. They feel pretty comfortable. If it is a closer game, I would expect them to say, hey, McElvain, this is the postseason. This is what you're here for. We need you to be a big old boy, and we need you to come in and close this game. So, yeah, other than that, who do you think would be other than McElvain?
Gibbler's the X factor here a little bit because I feel like Gibbler might be a guy that you would consider starting in game 3. Obviously, he started some games for Arkansas, has had some ups, had some downs. Whoever does start game 3, it's not one of those things where you're going to be like, hey, give us 6.
Yeah.
It's going to be pieced together no matter what. So I think they'd probably like to not use Cole Gibbler if they could. But I think if you're in a situation where, let's say, Hunter Dietz is through an inning or an out in the 6th and he's reaching 100 pitches or whatever, I think you'd see Cole Gibbler getting loose, especially if it's a close game by any stretch of the imagination. James DeCramer, certainly one to keep an eye on. Who else we got out there? I mean, Big Tuna, I guess, but I think it would probably be DeCramer, Gibbler, maybe McElvain back-to-back. Probably not Eves, but I think that's probably about where my head is at.
There we go.
And to send us home happy, Cubs fan says, I made one moderately mean but funny comment about Cameron. I was kidding, everyone. I love the young fella. And he also used his 7 months celebration here with Inside Arkansas. Says, IA is the world's greatest podcast and fellow chatters. Love Cameron, and I publicly apologize. Well, Cameron, do you want to accept do you accept his apology?
Well, so it's kind of like the teacher. Like, if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. So, I'll accept it. I don't know what you said.
It was foul. It was filth.
It was filth?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a pretty forgiving person, so I forgive you, Cubs fan.
Yeah. No need now to cry yourself to sleep tonight. Just so you know. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I will just say, Cubs fan, you don't actually really have to apologize. We weren't that upset with you. Maybe some people in the chat were, but whatever. We like to get after a little bit. Sometimes I think that when we respond to the chat, even if we're like going back and forth, sometimes we take y'all too seriously, but sometimes you take us too seriously. Like, we're really,
sure.
It's not that serious most of the time. But I guess, we've kind of looked a little bit ahead to the Kansas game tomorrow. Excited for that matchup. Excited to see how Arkansas does. By the way, they're going to be throwing, I believe the dude's name is Tyler Cook. It's definitely something Cook.
Tyler's Cook.
Righty, who's really been very good for them. I mentioned vaguely as their ace, but this guy's been throwing some really good innings for them down the stretch, kind of emerged as one of their top arms as John Neighbors is here. Hey, how about that? Just as we're about to close up shop. But I'm excited about that matchup. But, boys, before we get out of here, enjoy our nights and move on to Game 2 against Kansas. Do you have any final thoughts or words of wisdom to leave our beautiful listeners with?
Proud of the pig, man. Proud of the pig. Hey, it would have been awesome to beat those guys, 14-0 or whatever. I feel the same way about this that I did in the NCAA tournament. Oh, you beat High Point. It was a close game, whatever. Who cares? Moving on. Survive and advance. We know how important getting to 2-0 in a regional is. You got to get the first one. That's exactly what they did. I think they're in a good spot. I'm excited for this game tomorrow. This is like the biggest, baseball moment that's happened in the history of Kansas or whatever. Yeah. So they're going to be fired up for it too. This is really what it's all about. I can't wait to see it. Dietz is going to go out there and shove. Hogs are going to win.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I mean, you've started 1-0. That's what you wanted. You beat Missouri State. That's nice. Now you get how you can't feel much better than knowing you have Hunter Dietz on the bump tomorrow. That's the position you want to be in. If that sets you up 2-0, that's exactly where you want to be, who you want to have on the mound. I'm excited to see Hunter Dietz tomorrow.
Yeah. I absolutely agree, guys. Excited for tomorrow. We're going to do it at the same time tomorrow. Before we do get out of here, I did want to pull up this chat real quick. Gunner Files made a great point that I forgot to make earlier. How about us scoring 9 runs without a single homer tonight? Yeah, for all the long baller bust. This team can't manufacture things. Rope and line drives all over the field, left and right. Dave was a big fan of it, John
Yeah.
says, which
Use
is
the entire yard, baby.
absolutely. I mean, it's there for a reason. You might as well go ahead and use it. But like I said, we'll be back same time tomorrow night, 5 p.m. First pitch tomorrow.
That's the plan.
That's the schedule for us. So Baumbastic Postgame going to be getting going roughly around the same time, maybe 8:30-ish. Maybe we have some weather shenanigans. We'll keep you guys updated. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's been a brilliant edition of the Baumbastic Podcast. Shout out to Johnny's Tavern for letting us kick it here. And we will see you all tomorrow as the Pigs take on the Jayhawks. Going to be a fun one. Have a great